Good morning, boys and girls. This week you have a paragraph of the week, and it is actually a personal narrative that you are writing this week. So, we've talked about narratives before in the classroom, and a narrative is something that tells a story. A lot of the books we read in school are narratives. So, they have characters, and there's a setting, there's problem, there's a solution. So narratives are something that tells a story, and a personal narrative is a story about you. So it tells about something that you experienced in your life. It's a true story. You are the author. And it's told from your point of view. So a lot of the words you're going to use are I, me, my, because you're telling a story about your own life. So I wanted to show you today how you could brainstorm for our topic for this week. And as you're doing this, before you brainstorm, I suggest watching this video to just remind you what a personal narrative is, and then you can go to Today We Have Brainstorming. And again, I have just a few more videos if you want a little bit of a reminder on hooks, and writing and pre-planning and pre-writing. So that's something you can do too. But I am going to show you. So today, um, your topic is a time you got hurt. So at some point, everyone gets hurt. Think about a time you got hurt. What were you doing? How did it happen? Write a paragraph about the time you got hurt. So I'm just going to get some of my ideas down here. A time I got hurt was when I broke my wrist. And what was I doing? I was on the swing. So I fell off the swing. It was at my sister's birthday party. I don't remember how old she was turning actually, but it was her birthday party. Um, Fixed birthday. I was swinging too high on the swing and I flipped off. Um, yeah, and then let's see, it was in my backyard. So I have a few notes here of just like ideas of some things that I want to include in my story. Those are just like your brainstorming quick bullet point type things. But then I want you to actually plan what you're going to write, and that's where the next two slides come in. So on Monday, you're actually doing slides 5 through 7. So, you do your brainstorming, and then I have a graphic organizer for you to organize your thoughts and your ideas. So, my story title is going to be A Broken Wrist. And then I need to put a hook. And I can see here, if you remember in school, we learned about a few different types of hooks. You can start with a question, you can start with a fun fact, or an interesting fact. You can start with a sound effect, which is like an onomatopoeia. We did a few others, like dialogue and setting the scene, but I think these are some good ones that you can probably start with on your own here. So I am going to start with swish, a sound word. I heard the wind in my ear as I flew through the air and landed on the ground. Okay, so I and just started with a sound word here. Okay, and then I'm going to go, what happened? Well, I fell off the swing, broke my wrist. When did it happen? I was, I have to remember, I actually believe I was 10 years old when this happened. So I was 10 years old. Where did it happen? My backyard at my sister's birthday party. And who was there? All of my family. So my parents, my brother, my sister, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone. We were celebrating my sister's birthday. So I have some ideas here of, what happened, when did it happen, where did it happen, who was there. So then I need to go to this part here. I need to talk about what happens in the beginning, what happens in the middle, what happens in the end. I'm not writing my whole story here. I am just, again, brainstorming. It's quick. So in the beginning, it starts, I am swinging, or I was, I should say, swinging on the swing. I wanted to see how high I could go. So I started going faster and higher. Next thing I knew, I was flying through the air. Okay? So that's how it starts. That's the beginning. So in the middle, I landed, or I should say, I don't want to write the whole story here. So I'm going to make it quick. I landed on the ground and was in pain. My family, or my parents, took me inside to look at my wrist. We had to go to the emergency room. Okay, that's the middle of my story, and I can elaborate on that when I'm actually writing the story. In the end, my wrist was broken. I had to get a cast. It wasn't all so bad because everyone signed my cast and drew cool pictures on it, which made me feel better. So I don't have my whole story written here. This is definitely going to be, a story that I'm going to elaborate on, but I do have an idea of what's happening in the beginning of my story, in the middle of my story, and in the end of my story. So your brainstorming is these 3 slides here to get just your information out. So when you go to write it, you know who's in your story, where your story is taking place, what's happening in your story, and you have an idea of what's going on in the beginning, middle, and end of your story. So again, you are writing about a time that you got hurt. So, whatever you can think of a time where you really got hurt and you want to share it with everybody. So that is Monday's assignment. And then tomorrow when you go to do your rough draft, I will make another video showing you how I would do that.